Have you ever felt a sound deep in your bones? A piece of music that just seems to change the very air around you? We tend to think of sound as something we just hear, but what if it's something we are? Let's dive into this symphony happening inside all of us and find out how every single cell in your body might be part of this grand cosmic orchestra.
For centuries, mystics and poets like Kabir have talked about this cosmic hum, an unstruck sound that they believed underpins all of existence. Now, this isn't a sound you'd hear with your ears. It's more like a fundamental vibration that shapes everything, from galaxies right down to our very own selves.
And for the longest time, science would kind of listen politely, smile, and file these ideas under beautiful metaphors, or, just poetry. The idea of a healing mantra or a sacred chant? Spiritually significant, sure, but biologically literal? Not a chance.
And this is where our story takes a really fascinating turn. What if the poets weren't just being poetic? What if that line between metaphor and actual biology is way thinner than we ever imagined? Let's find out.
So to understand how we got here, we've got to start with the original idea, which comes from ancient yogic traditions, and it's all about this concept of the unstruck sound, centered around a principle they call nada. So nada is basically the idea that everything in the universe, and I mean everything, including every one of your cells, is dancing to a constant cosmic vibration. It suggests that sound isn't just something that happens to us, but that it's the very fabric of reality itself.
Okay, now let's fast forward to the world of modern labs and microscopes. Because pretty recently, something remarkable happened. Science finally put its ear up to the cellular wall and actually started to listen.
And what scientists found is just stunning. Biologists have now actually observed that human cells can, in fact, hear. Not with tiny ears, of course, but their very structure responds to sound frequencies. This isn't mysticism anymore. It's a real emerging field called cellular acoustics.
And the reactions are incredibly specific. I mean, under the microscope, certain tones act like a lullaby, encouraging cells to grow faster. Other frequencies get them to move in a specific direction, almost like they're marching to a beat. And maybe most incredible of all, certain vibrations can act like a switch, turning genes on or off, literally changing the biological playlist of your life. Now, this discovery isn't just a cool biological fact, it could open up a radical new frontier for medicine. Just imagine using sound waves to help repair tissues without surgery. Or what if we could find the precise frequency to just silence cancer cells? We could be looking at a future with healing and sonic chambers, where the body simply listens and transforms.
Okay, so this incredible intersection of sound and matter has inspired other theories, but some of them are a lot more controversial. We're going to touch on a couple of these ideas now, and it's really important that we approach them with a critical lens.
One of the most famous examples you've probably seen online is Masaru Emoto's work. He claimed that human intention, expressed through words like love or hate, directed at water, could directly alter its molecular structure. This would result in either beautiful, symmetrical crystals or chaotic, disfigured shapes when the water was frozen.
Right. We have to be super clear here. While those images are really compelling, Emoto's experiments, well, they lacked rigorous scientific controls. They haven't been reproduced by other scientists, and the wider scientific community considers it pseudoscience.
Another popular theory you hear a lot about revolves around musical tuning. For decades, there's been a movement claiming that tuning the note A to 432 Hz instead of the international standard of 440 Hz creates a more natural, resonant harmony. Proponents argue this frequency is in tune with the universe, the color spectrum, and even our body's energy centers, promoting calm and well-being.
So, let's set those contested theories aside for a moment and pivot back to what we can concretely measure. How do different sound frequencies, both the ones we can hear and the ones we can't, directly and provably impact our bodies and our minds?
This chart just brilliantly illustrates how sensitive we are. Take a look at infrasonic sounds, way below our range of hearing. They can still cause physical dizziness and that psychological feeling of dread. It might even explain why some places feel haunted. Then you have low frequencies that can make you feel anxious, or mid-range frequencies, like fire alarms, that are literally designed to trigger stress. We are constantly being shaped by a whole spectrum of sound, whether we consciously hear it or not.
And why? Why are we so susceptible to all this? Well, the answer really comes down to one simple number. Our bodies are estimated to be about 70% water. And if you've ever seen a ripple in a pond, you know just how perfectly water transmits vibrations. We are, essentially, walking, talking vessels of water, just primed to resonate with the sounds all around us.
So when you put it all together, from ancient poetry to cellular biology, from controversial ideas to measurable science, one thing resonates through it all. Life is not a silent film, it is a symphony, and we are both the instrument and the audience.
And this brings us right back to where we started. The ancient sages who spoke of sacred listening, well, they may have been describing a profound biological truth. When you sing or chant or even just hum a happy tune, it's not just your ears that are engaged. Your cells are listening. And that leaves us with one final thought. If your cells are listening, what are you telling them? The sounds you surround yourself with, the music, the conversations, the noise, the silence, they're all part of your personal score. So what is your symphony?